It's time to provide an update on the supply and demand for homes in Tallahassee, and I can tell you we're seeing prices and values soar right now. Today's report uses data from the Tallahassee real estate market, but what I'm reading and hearing from agents around the country, our report could easily apply to those market areas too. The loud and clear message from agents everywhere is we need more homes. Today's report dissects the supply side of the housing market, examining what's coming in, what's under contract, and what present levels mean for home values and buying a home today. I've included a link below to the current active listings in Tallahassee, sorted by price from high to low. As you scroll down towards the median home, take a look at just how many properties are already under contract with buyers. Hi, I'm Joe Manausa, author of The Business of Getting Business and the creator of Manausa.com, where I've helped tens of thousands of people buy and sell homes. I would like to help you too. If you already are a subscriber, thank you and welcome back. If you're not a subscriber, please consider becoming one now. We offer the most thorough and accurate housing market reports on YouTube, plus answers to your real estate frequently asked questions, and we also provide virtual tours of some of the most beautiful homes in Tallahassee. Please remember to like this video, then hit subscribe and click the bell so that you're the most informed buyer or seller in your next real estate transaction. Let's start this off with a quick picture that shows just how hot the market is today. This graph displays the current homes for sale, separated by whether or not they're already under contract with buyers. Homes for sale that are already under contract with buyers are shown in blue, while those for sale not yet under contract with buyers are shown in red. The ratio of homes under contract to all homes listed for sale is shown as a solid green line and measured on the right vertical axis. The green dashed line reports the one-year trend of the under contract percentage. Right now, there are 483 homes for sale in Tallahassee that are not yet under contract with buyers. This is the most we've recorded since the 535 that were available in January. To provide some context for these numbers, we saw about 530 homes sold and closed in each of the past 2 months, so the actual available inventory is only enough for about 4 weeks worth of buyers, meaning it's less than 1 month's supply of homes that are available. The percentage of homes under contract dropped for a second month in a row, but this was due to the normal seasonal influx of new listings as opposed to a slowing level of demand from buyers. Currently, 60% of listings in the MLS are under contract with buyers, which is significantly higher than the 48% recorded 1 year ago. I expect to see the percentage of homes under contract rise again next month as we've reached the end of the historic seasonal rush of sellers listing their homes. When we take in the big picture of the graph, it's clear how things are so different today than they were 10 years ago. It shows how the market has gone from a strong buyer's market to a strong seller's market. From left to right, look at how the percentage of homes under contract has reversed. On the left side of the graph, the height of the red bars was about 4 times the height of the blues, meaning there were far more homes for sale not under contract than there were homes under contract with buyers. Right now, 60% of all current listings on the market are already under contract with buyers, meaning today, 3 out of every 5 active listings have contracts today versus less than 1/2 just 1 year ago. Buyers must understand that when they go online and look at homes for sale, most of the homes they see are not really available, as other buyers have beat them to it and secured them with contracts. I can't tell you how many times a buyer has called us to go see a home they found on Zillow, and we had to tell them it's already been put under contract. This is why we recommend you use our search tool on Manausa.com. It updates every 15 minutes, and it's the best source of current actual listing statuses on homes for sale in Tallahassee. As I've been saying for years, the supply of homes for sale is far too low for buyers to be able to casually shop for a home. The situation has improved slightly for the time being, so if you're a buyer in the market, you might want to get aggressive right now before the rest of the market responds. Now, let's take an in-depth look at the supply side of the housing market and examine exactly what's happening that is causing the low level of availability of homes for sale. For 2 consecutive months, the number of fresh listings entering the market has risen. Again, this is less due to a surge of new listings and more related to the COVID impact in April and May of last year. This graph shows how each month fared percentage-wise compared to the same month in the prior year for fresh new listings entering the MLS. I use the term fresh to describe homes listed for sale that were not previously listed. These are homes that are truly new to the market, not merely old inventory that was canceled and relisted by the agent or a new agent. 3 of the past 4 months have seen gains in the number of homes listed for sale in 2021 when compared to the same months in 2020. But let me remind you that April through June were the months that declined greatly last year when COVID became a reality in Tallahassee. So the gains this year were more a reflection of the decline last year than a rise this year. I believe the same explanation can be used for the decline in July this year versus July of 2020. Last July, there was a surge of pent-up supply that hit the market that would have normally entered in the months prior. So the big July month last year can be blamed for the apparent decline in fresh listings in July of this year. While the previous graph showed a month-to-month comparison of fresh new listings, this one reports fresh listings of existing homes from January through July of each year. We see that the number of fresh existing home listings has risen 9% in the first 7 months when compared to the same 7 months last year. So how does 2021 compare with the previous 7 years? 2021 now ranks 3rd best of the recent 8 years when ranking them by the number of fresh existing listings entering the market. The housing market started the year with too few homes for sale, so even a healthy 9% rise in fresh existing home listings has done nothing to bring balance to the market. The continuing low supply of homes coupled with heightened demand has pushed prices higher and has accelerated real estate appreciation to unhealthy levels. You might think this high rise in appreciation is good news for sellers, as their homes are now worth more, but you also have to remember that most sellers are going to be buying another home in the same market, with the same soaring prices and the same lack of inventory. Of course, the existing home sales market does not stand alone. We also need to examine what the home builders have been doing. Similar to the previous graph that showed fresh listings for the existing homes market, this graph shows freshly listed new construction homes. The number of listings for new construction homes entering the market is a little more than 1/2 of what was reported last year at this time. The 249 new construction listings represent just over 1/2 of the 481 new construction listings created in 2020. This low production level is not going to solve our problem. Tallahassee needs local builders to produce more homes. As a matter of fact, that was my message to home builders when I spoke to the Tallahassee Builders Association at their general membership meeting recently, and you can hear what I said by watching the video I have linked below. With home builders producing homes at a slower rate, rapid appreciation has taken over the housing market. Last year's appreciation of 9.3% was nearly triple what we would expect to see in an average year, and this year's rate currently is annualized at more than 16%. As I have warned in previous reports, home values could very well surpass 20% growth this year. This graph plots new construction sales versus existing home sales annually from January 1991 through July 2021. The number of existing homes sold is shown in blue, while the number of new homes sold is shown in red. The gray line plots the new construction percentage share, while the dashed gray line plots its 10-year average. Back in the 1990s, builders were bringing more than 1,100 new homes per year to the market. The next decade, the average was over 1,300 homes. But over the past 10 years, we saw that average decline to 434 homes per year. Initially, the decline in new construction was needed, as the market was grossly oversupplied and required time to consume all the extra homes. That correction was completed in 2016, so we needed normal building operations to commence. With today's relative supply of homes for sale hovering around 3 months of supply, our inventory could easily be doubled, so builders today can comfortably permit another 1,000 homes on top of what's already been permitted. You have to remember, while demand is high, it has been stifled by a lack of inventory, so having more homes in the past would have resulted in more sales. Slow production means that builders missed an opportunity to sell an additional several thousand homes over the past 5 years. The void that these missing new construction homes did not fill has created a lopsided market with home values going out of control. Our growing population clearly needs more homes. Now that we've covered existing and new construction homes separately, let's examine the global view of the supply side of our market, where we combine new homes with used homes, which produces this graph, detailing the total number of fresh new listings that have entered the market through July. This graph reveals that the combination of builder homes and existing homes has 2021 ranked number 3 for the past 8 years of new inventory entering the housing market. 2021 trails only 2018 and 2019, and if all the new home permits posted earlier this year turn into inventory, we might see 2021 move to the top. Remember, today's sky-high demand has created optimal market conditions for sellers, so there's no reason for incoming listings to be so low. This year might have topped all others were it not for the number of new construction homes declining. In fact, when coupled with heightened demand, the current stream of fresh listings has kept the relative supply of homes for sale near record lows. So what does that mean? It means tough sledding for buyers. It means facing multiple offers from other buyers when you find the home you want to buy. Buyers right now are hyperactive due to near low mortgage interest rates, but we find the inventory far too low to satisfy this demand. Now, let's make this simple. Supply is low, demand is high, so home prices are going through the roof. Another set of listings we track is those that have recently been listed for sale, left the market without selling, and then returned with a new real estate broker. These are the stale listings. This graph shows the stale listings coming back into the market each year from January through July. With inventory low and home seller success rates near 90%, this list continues to get smaller. The 247 stale listings that have entered the market through July in 2021 measure 63% fewer than the 664 stale listings that entered the market in the first 7 months of 2015, and 29% fewer than what we reported last year. The number of listings that go stale will never go away, but today's count is fewer than any year going back to the market crash in 2006. This table measures the supply of homes for sale relative to the current rate of demand. The resulting number for each area and price range is measured in months of supply, and what makes the market balanced is a measure of 6.0. Historically, a market with 6 months of supply has produced steady home sales and appreciation rate of just over 3%. When the relative supply drops below 6 months of supply, we call this a seller's market, as there are more buyers than sellers. When the numbers rise above 6, we refer to this as a buyer's market, as there are more sellers than buyers. Red shaded areas reveal a seller's market condition. Orange areas remain in a buyer's market, while the few white shaded areas are fairly balanced. The table segments the market through home price categories in $50,000 increments up to $1 million. These results clearly show that the supply of homes for sale relative to the current hot rate of demand remains near a record low. With the decline of fresh new listings combined with the growth of the buyer pool, the months of supply of homes for sale is woefully low. This table shows you why such a high percentage of our current listings are already under contract with buyers. Right now, the overall market below $800,000 is facing strong sellers market conditions. There are areas and price ranges on the west side of town down to about $300,000 that remain in a buyer's market, and overall across Leon County, homes priced above $800,000 remain in a glutted buyer's market. The very bottom line of the table shows you last month's relative supply, and an interesting shift has occurred. Overall, the relative supply of homes for sale is the same this month as it was last month. But when we look at each quadrant, we see that fewer available homes in Northeast Tallahassee and Southeast Tallahassee. The same relative supply remains for Northwest Tallahassee, but the relative supply of homes has grown in Southwest Tallahassee. We'll keep a close eye on this to see if a trend is forming, but for now, pay close attention to the area and price ranges for the homes you plan to sell and buy. Overall, know that the market is crazy hot right now, so you have to have a good plan. For every buyer that closed on a home in July, there was more than one buyer that missed out on a chance to buy a home. The closings could have been more than double the rate closed had there been more available listings. Help spread the word. We need builders to step up and produce inventory in the areas and price ranges shown in red if they're capable. Obviously, we're not going to see builders bring in new units under $100,000 in Northeast Tallahassee, but there are a lot of red shaded areas in our table that should be pursued. If I were a builder and wanted to ensure that I did not build homes that the market does not need, I would look at those red shaded areas with a value below 5 months of supply. The market is demanding these homes. Why not build them and sell them? For non-builders, you should know that this is the hottest seller's market ever, so if you've been thinking about moving, it's time to act. Right now, mortgage interest rates remain very low, resulting in sky-high demand for your home. Rising rates will eventually reduce demand, resulting in fewer buyers for your home. Now, rising mortgage interest rates will not likely reduce the value of your home anytime soon, but the rising cost of borrowing money will increase your monthly payment on the home you buy next. If you plan on buying a home after you sell your current one, take advantage of low mortgage interest rates or just take advantage of the strong demand that these low rates have created. One day in the future, you'll look back at 2021 as perhaps the last chance ever to get a home at these low prices and be financed with a 3% mortgage interest rate. In the future, not only will home prices be higher, but so too will be the rate you pay when you borrow money for the home. Don't let this opportunity slip away. If you would like to see more videos about current housing market conditions, I've assembled a great playlist that you can view by clicking on the box on the top left corner of your screen. For a playlist of answers to questions from viewers just like you, just click on the box below it. Please remember to like this video, check out the links below it, and subscribe to our channel so that you never miss anything.